Hi Best Buds, it's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. I still have those card bases on my desk, and I only have 4 left, you guys, because I've prepped quite a bit. We're going to make another no-sew journal. This one is a little bit of a different style. Now, what I did was, these are card bases, I guess is what you call them, and I've used up all but 2 of the envelopes that go with this set. I don't know where I got this set from. In my comments from yesterday's video, some people said it was from the Dollar Tree a while back. I'm not sure, I don't remember. But anyway, I ended up with a whole bunch of these and only like 3 envelopes that go with them. So I wanted to use these card bases and use them in a really fun junk journal way. So let's go ahead and let's measure these. These are 5 inches by 3.5, and they have been folded in half, and they are cardstock. They're that craft color. I'm going to turn this way, keeping the fold on the left side, and I'm going to grab a pencil. And let's go ahead and let's just mark the center. That's right here. And then I'm going to grab my 1.5 inch hole punch, and we're going to punch a notch out of here. So maybe something like that. Alrighty, we've got our notch punched out just like that. Now, because it's kind of hard to see that's, punched out, it kind of blends together. So I thought, and I did, grab my folk art enamel, and this happens to be glass paint. It doesn't have to be glass paint, but this is the gold. And I took some of this paint, and I'm going to place it right here on my glass mat. I have a very, very inexpensive little brush here. And I'm going to get the paint on my brush, and I'm going to open this up just like this. And I'm going to paint the edge of the top part, the front of this. And I'm not being, real careful about how much I put or making it straight or anything. I'm just pulling my brush over the edge of the paper just to leave a little bit of paint. And it's even like kind of globbed on. I don't know if you can see. It's kind of globby. And I want this back part right here, this part, I want to do that as well. So I'm doing the exact same thing, and I'm just pulling my brush against the paper and just adding that color on there, that paint. All right, so when it shuts, you're gonna be able to see that is a tuck spot. Now I'm gonna set this over to the side. Hopefully it won't spill or anything. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this up, and then I'm going to clean it up, and we'll start the next step. All right, so here is a dried one, and I did round the bottom of the corner right here. And we're going to make this into a pocket. So I think what I'd like to do is go ahead and glue this shut. I'm going to use my art glitter glue, and we're going to apply our glue right down here. Okay, let me get this open. All right, I think I've gotten it open now. It had a little clog in it, and let's just apply a little bit of our glue down 2 sides, just like this. And then shutting it, making a pocket. Now I have chosen to do, I think there's 5 of these that I prepped ready to go. And I think what we'll do is we will glue them shut and decorate them as we go. I've used some book pages for my decoration, and I cut them, or actually I tore them to fit right on the front like this, and you can see that I inked it up a little bit. I also used a label. Now these are chapter 1 papers labels. And you guys, I have a lot of these little stickers. They're the kind that you can see through, that have the clear background, so that we can stick it on here, and I just think they're so pretty. I actually have one that I've already selected for this, and I want it to look something like that. I think that's going to be a really nice little decoration. I also have some lace right here, and I wanted to place the lace right here on the edge of this pocket, maybe something like that. So let's go ahead and let's get this all glued together. There we are. That's all glued and placed onto the front. We've got a pocket here. I think that looks really, really nice. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my hot glue gun, and I'm going to attach, reaching down getting my hot glue gun, guys. I have a Surebonder high tip hot glue gun that has the specialty tip on it. It came with that tip. And what I would like to do is place this on my little pocket, basically what it is right now. And I'm going to add my glue, and then just lay my lace right into the glue, just like that. I'm going to get my little silicone stick. There we are. Now it's nicely glued on, and I have a little bit showing on the edge. Let's trim this free as soon as I figure out where I'll put my little scissors. Here it is, right here. So I have quite a few of these. I have this one here I'm going to put together, and then I have this one. So there's 3 so far. 4, 5. So I have 5 of them. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to glue them all together so that when I come back, I'm going to have 5 of them that are all placed together and glued shut so that there is a pocket here. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with them. All right, so I have all the cards decorated and ready for the next step. I love how these have turned out. The next step is I took a piece of coffee dyed cardstock and I cut it to the size of 5.5 by 2.5, and hopefully they will fit nicely into each pocket. And I made one for each of the pockets that I have. I have this punch here, and I bought it years ago from Hobby Lobby. I'm pretty sure it's still available. It has nothing as far as name brands on it. It just says alignment right here. It will make these tags, these top of these tags, 2.5 inches, 2 inches, and 1.5 inches, and it does this really cute top, as you can see, because I'm going to take my cardstock, and I also mounted my music paper on top of my cardstock so that it has a little bit of decoration, and it just punches that out, and I just think that's so cute. Now, as you can see, mine was a little bit bigger than 2.5 inches, so I'll just take my guillotine and I can easily even that up. There, you can't even tell that it was a little too big. And then what I did was I took my corner rounder, I rounded my corners. Oh, that's chewing. I don't know why sometimes it chews. This is completely dry. I do not know why sometimes it chews and sometimes it doesn't, but for whatever reason, it chewed today. There we go. We can fix it. I've got my frayed burlap, and I'm just going to ink around the edge, front and back, and then I'm going to take it and I'm just going to kind of color the music paper like this, because the craft paper is so very dark that I just really didn't want this bright white for that kind of contrast. I wanted it to be a little more muted. So that's all it takes to fix that up. All right, so now I have one of these for each one of my pockets. And I ran the music paper different directions. They're not all going the same direction. I also have this little trim, and I thought that would be cute to place a little piece on the top of my tag like this. I thought that would be really sweet. So I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to measure first. I have about, it's a little more than 2 inches, about 2.5 inches of lace here. I'm going to pop it through my hole, and then I'm going to just glue this in place. And I think I'm going to make these kind of fan out a little bit like that. Okay. Now, when we pop it in here, they stick out of the top. I think that'll be super fun to have it sticking out of the top. I also, when I had that extra gold paint, I happen to have these on my desk. So I colored around these hearts, and I thought that I could decorate my tags with some hearts. I don't know if I want to use labels too. I have a whole dish of labels. Whoa, and I just spilled them in my lap. I have a whole dish of labels, and I don't know if I would like to use the labels too, or maybe just the hearts. I don't know, it seems like it needs a little something if I just do the hearts. And so I was thinking maybe a bigger label on here. I could even turn it to the side possibly. I don't know. I'm not real sure about that, but I do want to use the hearts because I think a little bit of decoration on these would be super cute. And then of course you can journal on the back. So let me get the lace on all of these tags, and then maybe by then I'll figure out how exactly I want to decorate them. But I think the hearts go super cute with the clear stickers. Now you guys, I've had these for a long time. I'm kind of going through stuff and I'm finding things. So I don't know where I've gotten them from, but they're really pretty, those botanical clear stickers. All right, so let me get the lace into our tags. All right, what I decided to do was I had some washi tape on my desk, so I grabbed it and I put it down here at the bottom, and then I just kind of set the hearts on top, and I did move it down in this direction towards the bottom because when I place these into the pockets, I really didn't want the decoration to show. I wanted it just to be music. So now, how are we going to make this into a journal, Kathy? I'm just not too sure. Well, remember that little cheat sheet that we had yesterday? I saved it. And remember how we start this off? We take a little piece, 2 inches wide, by the length of the journal. Well, this is going to be our journal, by the length of the journal. And you fold it in half. Now, I've cut some off, but this paper was up to here. And then you fold it in half again, and then a half again, and you crease it really well. When you open it up, you put a little dot where the folds intersect. Now, as you can see, this side is shorter than this side, and it is because I wanted to have my holes just about, what is that? It's a little more than 1/4 of an inch in from the outside of this area here, the fold. And that is how we're going to put our holes in so that we can attach our signatures with these rings. So they open up just like this. Now, if you don't have any rings, you could use ribbon, you could use sari silk. There's lots of different things. You could use twine. So if you don't have these, you still can make this little booklet. So let's go ahead and let's put our holes in. I've got a little piece of packing material. I'm going to lay my little pocket, is what it is right now. It's going to be a journaling page. I'm going to put the shorter side closest to the fold, like this. Okay, I'm going to hold it in place. Hopefully that's down the way I want it. I'm going to grab my awl and I'm going to place a hole here, here, and here. Alrighty. Now I just have a small hole. Now I'm going to bring in my little punch, and I think I'm going to have to use this punch. I'm not sure if this is going to be big enough. I might have to switch to my other punch, but I'm going to try this one first. It's not quite as big. Will my little rings fit through? Oh, it fits through perfectly. Just perfectly. But you know what? You could either put an eyelet there or a hole saver. And I think I'm going to use a hole saver. So let me grab a couple of my hole savers. All right, so I have my hole savers here. I think I would like to take my paint, my gold paint, because that's what I've accented this with. We've got gold paint accented up here. We've got our gold paint that's accented around here. I think it would be really nice to put gold accents. Well, I need to finish putting my holes in, but I think it would be really cute to put gold accents. So grabbing my paint, and I placed some paint right here. I got a softer brush, and I am going to paint my little hole savers. So just as simple as sticking my paint brush into the paint and then just rubbing it over my hole savers, I can give them a little bit of a gold shimmer. And I really think this will be an extra added something something. So let me get this painted. All right, so I colored with my gold paint my hole savers. Now my hole savers are pretty old, so I'm not trusting the glue that's on the hole savers, and so I'm going to use my art glitter glue, and I'm just going to go around the hole like that. And then I'm going to take my hole saver and I'm going to place it right on top of the glue, right around the hole. And then that way I can be assured that my hole saver is not going to come off. And I think the gold on the hole savers are really just the pop that it needed. Let me get my fingers out of the way here, and you can see how cute it looks right here on the back. Now I have already completed all of these. So cute, right? Oh, so very, very adorable. Now, let's put them in the rings. So you'll want to decide which one you want for your cover, and take your little rings and you open them up and you just feed your little papers, in our case they're pockets, onto the ring like that, and then you close it up. So you'll be able to add as many of these pages as you want. Let me get the rest of the rings on there. Oh my goodness, is that not absolutely adorable? And they're easy to flip open, just like that. Remember, we have our tags. We need to stick our tags in here. So let's do that. So a tag in our front one. Now you can journal on here. You can add another piece of paper if you want, or a digital, or you can decorate it in any way that you want. But I just think this is an absolutely fantastic way to use some of those card bases that we might have, because we kind of wanted the envelopes and then we ended up with all the extra little card bases. Another no-sew journal. Absolutely adorable, either for yourself or for a gift. Oh my, look at that. It's precious. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.